How's it, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I'm joined once again by Brian, Sam, and Brandon, who you may remember from some other podcasts we've done, from the Spider-Man gameplay, from the Batman Arkham one. Today, we are going to be doing a segment for What Are Your Thoughts? And we are going to be giving our thoughts for the upcoming Insomniac game, Spider-Man 2, the sequel to my favorite, the 2018 version. I'm I once I heard they were announcing it, I was like, but then it's like, oh wait, it's gonna show new Peter's face, but maybe they'll work out some things. And then I know when they redid the 2018 one for PS5, they had to rework like a new face real quick. So I'm hoping if we see Peter's face, it'll be a lot better and it'll actually feel like
It's supposed to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when I saw that new face, that was just jarring. Like I had no idea they'd done
They
that
wanted
after a while.
He a little
it,
ugly.
it was to fit with continuity um for Miles Morales. So because I think yeah, but it was Miles Morales. They were also working on the PS5 version of the 2018 version, so that's why the whole face change was so just not so great. So we'll
Yeah,
see if his face lines up better in this version, since they had
Yeah, 'cause
actually
that's
time
the
to
one thing you
work on
didn't
it.
get to see was the main character models in the trailer. I mean, Craven looked fantastic.
Oh yeah,
The suits looked really good, but yeah, if they use that kind of quality on the tech, the face models for the main characters, I'm all right. It's a PS5 game, and it looked fantastic. They've got the big, very high bar to get past,
oh
considering
yeah.
what they set for themselves before.
Oh yeah. And starting off with you, Brian, what were your thoughts when you heard that they're making a direct sequel for the 2018 one? Because if you think about it, Miles Morales is just more of a filler game.
Yeah, well, I wasn't surprised. And like you said, with Miles Morales being kind of like a expanded DLC, in my opinion, I was like, okay, you guys knew what you did right. The public has spoken, and the sales obviously proved that it was a good game. So it was like, okay, now that you've got this groundwork, I don't care if they add new mechanics. I don't care if they change much of anything. Give me more of the same, but I mean, as far as the gameplay is concerned, and let's tell a different story. Let's go somewhere else. Let's expand on what we already got to see. How is Aunt May's death going to affect Peter going forward? Things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, story wise, because that, like we said in the gameplay podcasts, that was very, very, very integral to the experience of that game was the story, and it was the most gripping part of it. So with that, that's what I'm looking forward to, is to see what they do.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all got introduced, like it was like what, 2-3 years ago we first got introduced to that trailer where it showed Miles and Peter fighting this mysterious figure we do not see. So that right there was letting people know, hey, you're not only gonna be playing as one person, you're gonna be playing as two people this time.
Yeah.
Hence the name, Spider-Man 2. Sam, what were your thoughts when you heard that they were making a sequel to the 2018 Spider-Man game?
I was really excited because I love the first one, and then it's like, when's the second one gonna come out? Because I'm the most impatient person ever, and it's like I want it to come out already. Like I want it, and I want it right meow.
I remember feeling that way when like Spawn was announced for Mortal Kombat 11. It seemed like it took forever for that
Yeah, it's
to
like
show up.
yeah, I'm really excited for it. I was really excited for it.
No, I mean, once to talk to Brandon. So Brandon, same question. What were your thoughts when they showed the first teaser trailer for Spider-Man 2 when they came out, like what, 2021, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, well, that long ago already? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out like, it was like, I think it came out like a few months after Miles Morales was released.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was definitely thrilled to hear and see that, because I think around that time too, about the same time, they had the Wolverine one. So both kind of popped up. I think I saw the
Oh
Wolverine one
yeah,
first, and then it's like, oh,
which is
here's
by
related.
by Insomniac, but that's more of a semi-open world compared to the full open world of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I didn't hear about the announcement, but through seeing that one, I saw that, and it was like, oh, and then getting to see Venom at the end, I was really looking forward to
Ooh.
seeing what they do with him. after they showed all that stuff with Harry in the first one. So yeah, very excited.
Yeah, no,
It's gonna be so good.
anyone can jump in this. So I mean, so a few years ago we got shown the trailer where it showed Miles and Peter fighting this mysterious figure. Some people were saying it's Venom, some people were saying it's Kraven.
Looks like we get both.
We may get both because
Although I am curious, even though it's quote unquote a venomized suit, is it actually Venom or is it just another generic Clintar? Are they going to try and incorporate it into the Spider-Verse, in the movies or somehow? Because Venom's not just one thing. There's like an entire planet of those damn things.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So it doesn't have to be Venom. It could
I
be
mean,
just a generic Clintar and go from there.
my so you guys remember at the end of the Spider-Man 2018 where it showed Norman Osborn staring at his son and his son's in that glass case surrounded by what looks like symbiote fluid.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of has something to tie in with how Peter has, the symbiote ability? Because you saw in the gameplay trailer, you press I think it's a square or circle button. His suit just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks so cute.
that is a cool mechanic, in my opinion.
So once again, is it
And
actually
see
going
Miles
to be Venom?
upgrade. Oh,
Yeah, or is it going to be just a Clintar? Like they captured one of the species? Is it going to be a biogenetic experiment?
Well,
Who knows?
We'll know. And I think it's
Yeah.
October. It's October. Yeah,
I'll be cool with
October.
either. I don't give a shit, man. It'd be fantastic. It's going to look
It
great.
comes out in October, and I know some of my favorite YouTubers who are like well known are going to be playing it right away when it comes out, like a day or two early.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's a must buy. I'm not even hesitating on that one.
Are you
Oh, yeah.
already? I take you already pre-ordered Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it's on the list. Yeah, it's definitely getting pre-ordered.
you know, like how MJ was in that lab with the spiders, and one of the spiders got out, and then like bit Miles. I kind of feel like one of them's gonna.
Is that how you think that the Venom thing's going to happen? Like it's going to escape?
That's my theory.
It's really
And
hard
it might
to
be
tell.
MJ because she's really good at releasing.
It's really
things that
hard.
shouldn't be
It's really hard
released.
to tell. I mean, this kind of reminds
makes
me
sense.
of that other Spider-Man game. Was it Web of Shadows, where Peter could also turn into the symbiote Venom.
Yeah, and then there was the Ultimate Spider-Man back on the Xbox days where you had the ability to play both, but see, that was truly Venom. There were two separate characters, but I'm saying they've had iterations of him before. But I like I said, I'm okay if it's not quote unquote the original Venom. If it's just a Clintar and he gets the
It's
suit,
so cool.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome no matter what. But I'm thinking it is Venom because at the end, the eyes were starting to change and he was
and
getting
the
aggressive
mouth
and stuff.
and his
Yeah, and he
teeth.
was getting aggressive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you saw
know.
you saw in the trailer when.
Yeah, the way he smiles is like that's a Venom smile right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
Well,
then the
I
whole thing-
assume because it had touched, it was wearing Peter at one point. That's why it became Venom. So between that and then just him being iconic, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean,
Yeah.
that means you have to bring in Eddie possibly, or are they going to ignore that and it was off of Flash, or is Peter the first one that gets it
or
and then
Harry.
it goes to Eddie? Yeah, who knows?
Or they could treat it like kind of how they did with the Sony movie, where it just whatever experiment was going on in space got down to Earth. They just captured it. Didn't have to be around Eddie. They just happened to get it.
Yeah,
That's
like I said,
that's
So
gonna
many
be
different
interesting.
possibilities.
Well, we'll see when the game comes
Yeah.
out, because that right there has to be a focal point of how Peter has the symbiote attached to his suit.
yeah, there has to be something to justify that. And then the only other fear, although they did handle it really well in the first one, is having too many enemies. Because obviously we saw the lizard. He's wearing that
Mhm.
symbiote suit. Is that going to be an enemy? Craven's in there, his little henchman.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping they don't just make too many and it's like, okay, I know you got two Spider-Mans running around, but let's not overwhelm it. Let's do like the Doc Ock as the focus and then kind of expand.
we don't
from
we
there.
don't know who the main, because we got shown that new trailer where it shows Craven just being tired of hunting whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't your Sony's Craven the Hunter, for which I'm not even going to go into that trailer that just came out for the new Craven movie. Yeah.
I watched it.
It showed him. It showed him like looking at the map of New York, and also the map in the game has expanded because you get to go to Dr. Connor's house.
Yeah.
So like the map has gotten bigger.
And it looks like water's integral, like with that
Yeah.
water skiing part. Let's hope that that's actually a mechanic in there that you can
Oh,
use.
that
That'd be
thing
awesome.
was
That's-
cool
that's-
scene, man. That was epic.
Yeah, Genki's little glider, and then you're like
Yeah.
skiing.
Oh
like,
yeah, they got the spider glider for Miles.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
so it's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and Genki's back too because he was
Yep.
a supporting character. Brandon,
Yes.
when you saw the trailer, what did you think? How did you feel about seeing the switch between how you could depending on the mission, you could switch between Miles and Peter?
I thought that was really cool because I felt like that kind of plays off a bit more of what they did in the first one with like when you had the moments as Peter versus being as Mary Jane. And to see that be more of an on the fly switch like that, that's actually pretty cool. I do like that. I look forward to seeing what else they do while you're doing it, not just a focal switch for the story moment during that chase.
I'm kind of hoping like when you're free roaming, you can choose between Miles and Peter, but like when you go to the mission, it'll set to the default. I think it'd be kind of cool if you could switch between the two just to do like the side mini missions, like how in the game you can like stop a crime, stop bad guys from fighting. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll get to do that, but like I feel like when you go to like a main mission, it'll set to that default character, whoever the mission's for, and then
Yeah, and then probably switch contextually in there or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the open world stuff, how cool would that be to have you both swinging around and switch on the fly? Like have Miles hold a guy and Peter webbing
Kinda
him
like-
or throwing him around
Oh, that
or
would be
something.
kind of like
Yeah.
kind of like what they did in Arkham Knight when you're like doing the Penguin missions, how you can switch between Batman and Nightwing, and you can
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
that
That's
tag.
cool,
too. I'm totally
Well-
fine with that.
We'll see. Insomniac
Yeah.
has a lot to do because not only is the map bigger, but you're introducing new villains. The lizard, which it's hard to tell
like-
how this lizard looks because
It looked like an iguana. He had the spikes and
bit.
stuff off of his back, and then the tail underwater.
Was he?
It looked-
You guys saw the 11. I didn't fully watch the 11-minute trailer because not many spoilers, but I probably will watch it.
You didn't watch it all?
Did it show the lizard at all? What he looked like, or
Oh,
was it
yeah.
just-
Yeah, you got a pretty good. I mean, at least
Yeah, you get a pretty
enough
good view
look.
of how he
And you
looks.
got a quick moment of him popping out of the water, but nothing.
But you can see him pretty
It's not like
clearly
a
though.
solid look.
Oh, here I'm looking at him right now.
He's pretty spiky. He's got like an iguana tail,
Oh,
Yeah.
like
he
a
looks
lizard.
he looks like
Yeah.
you know who he almost looks like? He almost looks like Razor from the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Except he's not beaky.
right.
not
What was it?
beaky.
What was it called? Something ooze.
Secret
Yeah.
of the Ooze. Yeah.
Secret- yeah,
The-
he
Toka and
looks-
Razor.
He looks so like I'm not saying he looks out of place, but
Well,
like
the swimming animation when you first see the underwater, like him coming at Miles, it looks like a crocodile coming at him.
Mhm.
It looks
Yeah.
more lizard-like swimming, and then you see the side view kind of, and it looks like an iguana tail, and then he's out. He's really spiky, so it looks like they went real lizardy. But we'll see.
Well, he is
That-
the lizard.
Yeah, not necessarily
I'm-
married to one type of
I'm kind
lizard.
of I'm
Yeah.
kind of curious on what Kirk Connors looks like then, because this looks like, because like in the gameplay trailer you saw Craven's henchman.
trying to
be-
break into his house and
Yeah,
stuff.
and this time you're also fighting not only male NPCs, but from what it looks like you're also fighting female NPCs of Craven's.
and a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there's so many.
Spider-Man's an equal opportunity
Oh,
opportunity crime fighter. Not
Ass
just-
whippings for everybody, right?
Yeah.
these hands are ready to eat for everyone. And when I was watching some of the gameplay, when Peter's in that symbiote suit, and I'm gonna guess it'll have like a time gauge. Like when you use like a superpower or something, you'll like have that time meter, and then like eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But the suit was OP. when I
Yeah,
saw
well,
the
see, that's
gameplay.
the thing. Depends on how those mechanics are integrated. Do you have to upgrade them, or do you over level? Like you become more and more in tune with the symbiote. Like that's what was happening to Peter before in the comics and stuff too. Was that the more he wore it, the more in tune. But then he was also becoming darker and.
Oh yeah, I mean,
more-
like you even heard Peter's like, "I'll handle them."
yeah.
Oh,
And
the
you hear, and you just hear
voice,
like
oh.
you just hear like the fear in Miles and Genki's voice. Like,
Is he always like that? Yeah, he's like, no, he's never like that.
No.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
I kind of like seeing a darker Peter. Not gonna lie.
Well, but see, that's kind of what I was getting at too. Though Sam is like maybe the storyline's gonna start dealing with him dealing with some
And
of
that's
this
how he
depression
deals
and
with
stuff
it.
after
And
May.
I'm guessing this
and
takes
it's-
place like a year or two after the events of the first. It's not really till it's said like because it takes place after Miles Morales, that's for sure. But like,
Yeah.
what's like the timeline after that?
Well,
I don't know.
So I don't think
Probably
I
2 to
saw
3
or heard
years.
anything that really indicated it at all.
no.
Maybe that's why he got so angry, was because like he was like rapidly getting more into the suit.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Also,
It could be the real world 5 years since the release. I mean, they
Probably.
could keep the timeline the
Also,
same.
thoughts on Craven's look?
Okay,
What
the
is
one in the
very-
trailer looked really good. That one I'm not a big fan of. The intro when he picked the guy up and was choking him out.
that
Yeah,
one
that looked
where it
with
looks
the bone.
more, it looks more like
Oh,
accurate to his like his
yeah.
comic book with the
Mhm.
teeth and everything.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
He,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what
like
I
he,
saw.
I feel like he's gonna be a major boss. He's gonna be like a main boss.
I hope so.
Probably.
I mean, Lizard looks like a boss as well, but it's really also hard to tell who the main boss is gonna be because you saw him look at his map. You saw Yuri Watanabe's alias known as the Wraith, I think it was.
And then
Because-
DLC is a thing, you know.
That is
so-
true.
Yeah.
Because I remember some people were saying that when they saw Wraith, aka Yuri Watanabe's, because in the Spider-Man DLC, she kind of goes rogue during the Hammerhead
Mhm.
mission. So basically, she, in a sense, and I hate to bring some DC into this, she's basically Red Hood in a sense in
Yeah,
this universe.
pretty much.
She's
Okay.
Oh yeah.
she's taking
Yeah.
up she's being a police officer. She's basically like wants to take crime into her, take take the crime fight into her own hands.
You want justice, you got to make your own. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it's good.
So she could be a potential side.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
And-
we don't know because we even
No.
saw the Prowler on his little
Yeah.
digital pad thing.
And we're incorporating 2 main Spider-Mans, so
Yeah.
they've got their own rogues gallery and stuff.
So
So who's gonna be
we'll-
where?
We'll see.
And maybe Norman could become the Goblin in this one. It's possible.
Oh yeah.
And thought process on that being is like, well, Peter's obviously got the suit, and either beforehand or after the fact, maybe he's working on that stuff trying to cure his son and ends up using it and become like the one from the Spider-Verse or something like that. As potential. At some point that lie breaks because what they said that Harry's supposed to be off like
Oh yeah, on vacation or
Oh,
whatever.
Well, they
no.
still don't know, do they? Okay.
No.
okay.
Well,
I'm-
we don't know how that's going to start off. If that's what Brandon's talking about, like the truth comes out, and that's when all hell breaks loose. One way or the other, I'm excited. Like I said,
Oh,
if
yeah.
the story is as even close to being as solid as it was in the first game, the rest
I
of
mean,
it, you
I'm
don't have
sure
to
we're
introduce
gonna get.
mechanics.
I'm
You
sure
don't
we're
have to
gonna
do
get
anything
like.
else.
I'm sure we're gonna get a recap of the first 2 games.
Hmm.
Peter
Makes
talking about
sense.
his Aunt May dying, Miles Morales talking about what it was like becoming basically his Batman Year One experience.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Integrate all that. But that's what I'm saying. If the story can pick up and you get the emotional impact and investment right off the bat, the rest of it's going to fall right in line. And it doesn't have to be anything new because the mechanics and the gameplay was already so solid.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping they bring back photo mode because
Oh, of
No
course.
one-
you will.
no one-
yeah.
no one,
Take
no
a
one, no
selfie
one,
with
no
the
one,
lizard.
no one, you're fighting the lizard. You
Yeah.
like the. But no, like especially it's good because I want to bring some cosplay into this because we're also going to get introduced to some new suits potentially as well. Whether you have to unlock them by
Oh,
doing,
you
like,
will.
like like how in the game you had to like unlock them by doing special things like for example like earning the science points to unlock this suit or completing these little side crime stopping missions to unlock this suit.
Yeah,
Especially with
there will be.
especially with how Across the Spider-Verse just came out. I'm sure they're gonna have some suits for that too.
Give me Spider Cat. That's fine.
Spider
Oh
Cat.
well, we met Spider-Cat in he was a DLC. He was part of not a DLC suit, but he was part of a suit that the guy who
Oh
runs
yeah,
the
Miles
bodega-
Morales.
yeah the
Yeah.
bodega
Yeah.
shop. Yeah, he
That was
basically-
amazing.
Like he was in the backpack.
Save the
I would like.
kitty.
Yeah, the cat comes out.
Yeah.
I'm So you know how the leveling up system was in the first game, right? How you can like upgrade your gadgets, your gear, your power-ups. Do you think that's
Yeah.
gonna be I'll go with Brian first. Do you think that's gonna be the same or do you think that's gonna change given this is a new game?
Like I said, if it stays the same,
with new mechanics.
if it stays the same, and I'll keep going back to it, they don't even have to, from my opinion, they don't have to introduce new mechanics other than the way that Venom suit worked. But if they do and they integrate that into it, we're getting more of the same that worked really well. I'm fine. I mean, I imagine, given the nature of it, it is going to be really similar. And if you add something like, okay, you have to do this as Venom, or you have to do that as Miles to unlock a new web shooter, and maybe do it cross characters. Do this as Miles, you get it for Peter. You do that for Peter, you get it as Miles.
I
That'd be
mean,
cool too.
Oh, and
So-
I'm sure
that'd
there's
be
gonna be
cool.
I'm sure there's gonna be upgrades for the symbiote suit because when you saw the symbiote suit fight those
Oh.
guys, like how he's just like punching him, kicking him against the wall, and how he had like
Yeah, you'll probably get different grabs and maybe extendo tentacles
yeah,
or something.
like you can grab like the tendrils, throw them up, and then like well
Yeah, hold them or
it,
something.
it's we
One way or the other, whatever upgrade system they do, it'll probably integrate flawlessly, and then that's part of that
More.
gameplay loop that like Sammy got addicted to, like, oh, running up a damn building or running across
it's
you know,
my
that,
it's my that's still my favorite thing is running up
Yeah.
like the big tall.
I still
The
haven't
big tall
finished Miles
building.
Morales because of that.
yeah.
Oh no,
But I'm just saying that dopamine drip gameplay loop that sucks you into it, where like, I'm gonna ignore the main mission because I want to
Yeah.
go swing underneath that bridge.
Take
But at the same time, you're
take
still
pho-
getting
take
the XP
photos,
points.
collect
Yep,
these
you're still getting.
collectibles, do like
Yeah.
the cool tricks.
As
in
long
the
as
air.
Screwball's not in it, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be
weren't-
nice to see
weren't-
that
I
not
mean,
come
and
back.
also
No Screwball.
I'm sure we're also gonna get. I think J. Jonah Jameson made a voice appearance in the 11-minute trailer. I'm not sure.
I don't remember hearing it, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was visually looking at most of the stuff. But even still, bring it back. I'll listen to those podcasts
oh,
again.
yeah,
They're
I-
hilarious.
yeah.
thought
I'm
that
sure.
was
Yeah.
I'm sure
amazing.
he's gonna have. I'm sure he's gonna have a lot to say, especially with Kraven the Hunter, the symbiote suit.
That's all Peter's fault. Yeah, it's all
Um,
Spider-Man's fault.
Sam,
running around.
Same
I tell you who's
question.
fault
Do you
it is, it's
think?
tremendous
Do you
Spider-Man.
think?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Do you
great.
think there? Do you think there's gonna be some new mechanics in like the upgrade system? Do you think that's gonna stay the same, or do you think that's gonna change given the fact that now we have this symbiote suit to deal with? Do you think that's gonna have?
Well,
its
that's what I'm
own-
saying. I think they're going to integrate
Yeah,
some of this stuff.
I think they're like, because if
Yeah.
you make it stay the same with how Venom's power works, if it is Venom, is very different than Peter's movements and mechanics. So you'd have to incorporate it and make it a little different. So I hope that they're different and that they've added stuff.
You know, I wonder if they'll do like the Ultimate Spider-Man thing, like we have to eat people to get your strength back and shit eventually, or something.
That would be
You know, or
kind of
like
cool and also
he
kind
has
of
to
gross.
do a DNA thing or something. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, if it's not going to
Like-
be,
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be nice
but,
to go
like,
back.
Yeah.
But yeah, same question, Brandon. Do you think the leveling up system is going to be the same, or do you think it's going to change given that this is a new game for a new console and potential new mechanics?
I think if they do change, they're not going to change it drastically, but I think there is going to be some tweaking done just to adjust for the new stuff with Venom for sure.
Mhm.
Mainly the upgrading, and since Venom is much more brute force than Peter, just tweaking that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I think for the most part, it's probably going to be about the same, which is fine.
Hey,
They might
that-
do away with the tokens or change how the tokens are.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
yeah,
about the
seeing in the
tokens.
hideouts and stuff like
So-
that.
Yeah.
So here is I want to talk about the suits now, mainly Miles' suit. So there's Miles' suit from Miles Morales.
Yep.
Oh
Right. Look
yeah.
it in, take it in, love it, blah blah blah.
Look
And
at
here
the way-
his this is from the this is from the gameplay trailer. Look at his new suit. It has like more red accents like on his arms.
Yeah.
So he upgraded his suit too.
It kind of looks mechanical.
I think Peter's suit is still relatively. It still looks. I mean, here's a look at their suits. It looks like Peter's suit still has relatively the same he did in the PS4 version.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was
Yeah.
much changes to that at all.
Miles just-
Miles'
Mi-
eyes are a little different.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and then the accents on the arms, but that's okay. That's fine. He can run
Miles'
around
suit.
with the bag on his head naked except for the underwear. I'll still play it. I don't care. You know, I mean, it's
Oh yeah. Also, I also want to get your guys' opinion. What do you think of the symbiote suit that you get to transform in. What are your? I'm gonna show a bigger picture, but what are your thoughts on Peter's symbiote suit?
Oh, look at that suit.
I really liked how alive it looked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like how like in the eyes, like how it was like moving.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
veiny and stuff. Yeah.
Everything's all that's like again, this is like supposed to be kind of realistic. We never get to see the symbiote do that except for, you know, Tom Hardy's Venom movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I did notice, and it was when like the tendrils retracted and stuff, that, and you can look in that, you can see it in that picture too. Like, look at the shoulders. There's defined deltoid
Yeah, the
muscles.
yeah.
shoulders are interesting.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
They're like
defined.
armored.
But just look at the shine.
But
like,
it looks
the
alive. It's actually, if you watched when the tendrils
Oh,
went
yeah.
back in, that's the arms wrapping back around
Oh,
his body.
But look at the
Well,
shining.
that's where
like,
the
look-
tentacle things came
look
from.
at
Yeah,
the
that's
look
what
at-
it was.
look
That's where
at-
they're
look
coming
at
off
the-
of his arms, off of the
Look-
shoulders. That's what I'm
at
saying.
Look at the reflection on his suit, though.
It looked real.
so
It looked like
shiny.
skin.
Like, look,
Yeah.
you can see like the sun and the houses reflecting off of it.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
dang.
Like it's
It is
Yes,
a
like
cool
I said,
suit,
I'm
man.
and then there was like the big gap underneath the wings and stuff. But if you watch the trailer when they go back in, it's actually the tentacles going back onto him and stuff. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what that looks like. And photo mode.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like here. So I'm gonna like pull up a close version of like
You can kind of
the-
almost
of-
see the
of-
suit be
of-
angry.
yeah. Like look at the eye.
Oh,
Look how the eyes
yeah.
are.
Oh,
That was really
it
good.
was so
Photo
cool.
mode for this is gonna be off the freaking wall.
And the
Oh,
and the
yeah.
close up of his face at the end when they're both at
Oh,
the
yeah.
dock when it both takes off and you get to see the eyes
Oh.
change and stuff. I was like, oh yep.
Yeah,
it
imagine
looks-
again when you're playing when you're in like when you're swinging as Venom or whatever, you get like the photo mode.
somebody got lost.
Uh-oh. Oh no, it froze.
Oh, it's yeah, for for
Yep.
a minute.
Damn it, Sam! What do you have bad?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's that
don't
Salt Lake
blame
City
me for my
internet.
internet.
So back to you, Brian. What would you like to see? Stuff that you didn't really see in the trailer and stuff that may be announced for the future DLC or patches. But what you personally, what would you like to see?
I only really have one thing that I'd like to see that hasn't been included since Spider-Man 2, and that is at least an option in the gameplay to have each trigger represent each web shooter. Because I
So
love the way that worked in the old Spider-Man
so
2.
like left trigger for this arm, right
Yep.
trigger for that arm.
Yep. Yep, just like it was in the old Spider-Man 2. Just because that mechanic was
Oh,
so
wait, are you
interesting to
talking
play
about the
with.
Spider-Man 2 movie?
No, the Spider-Man 2 movie game that was on like the Xbox and the PS2 and stuff. Yeah,
okay.
because
Like,
you
so, like-
had that option.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, it was just the one trigger. I think it
That was one option, but you could turn on to where it was realistic
Oh,
swinging. with
I'm
both.
talking about like in the 2018 one, he just pressed the one and he's
Yeah, it was just
swinging.
one. Yeah,
and
Mhm.
he's doing it for both. But that'd be kind of a
Yep.
cool mechanic, you know. This trigger,
And it was
What was-
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
that'd
So
be-
if nothing else, I'd like to see that even just as an option in the gameplay. Gameplay options. It
Yeah,
doesn't
and
have to be
Insomniac, if you're
default.
watching this, you know, make that like a little option. You can put it in the settings.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see it. Because it changed the difficulty. It changed the way you swung around. Because you could actually hit one side of a building and hit the other side and hold yourself.
Oh, that would
A lot
be
easier.
cool. Like,
Yeah, and then hang, and then you would pull, and then
oh,
launch.
basically like how he would like step back and then just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like
Yeah,
how
but you-
kind of like how it does like the launching in the game where like you jump on a certain part and he just launches himself.
But you
Yeah.
could do it mid-flight. You could actually just hit the right trigger, grab that wall, and then hit the other one and pull yourself forward.
That would definitely
That'd be cool.
that's definitely be a lot of work. But I mean, knowing that this is for
Yeah.
the PS5, I mean, this game is
But-
also
well,
not-
hell, if you could do it back on the Xbox, I'm just saying.
Well,
but
let's
it's-
see.
As far as anything else, like I said, man, it's as close to perfect as it could possibly be. If they just give me the same thing with a little bit more and the stories where I'm going to go back to, I'm fine with it. And if they add that realistic physics with the individual swinging, I'm fine. Like I said, I'll be fine as is. I don't care. Just don't make it as glitchy or as buggy as Miles Morales. Please have taken your time on it.
Oh
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
That
again
was something else.
Miles Morales was more of a filler game because I'm sure like even fans were like they were wanting a game right away. Miles Morales it's definitely that it definitely feels like an extended DLC even though it's its own solo game.
Yeah, it was buggy. But
I-
yeah, like I
I
said,
li-
other than that, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll be fine with it.
Sam, same question. What would you like to see in this game?
Um, I definitely, and I'm sure they're gonna do it if it leads to Venom, but I would definitely like to see more of the aftermath of emotions for Peter with everything that he had to go through in the first one.
Ooh.
And then kind of the same thing with Miles, but like trying to figure out it's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Like why are you being like this?
Oh, I guarantee there's gonna be, and this is just me
Because I
spitballing.
really want to see that because that would be awesome.
I'm just going on to that. I've seen people on TikTok talk about it. A lot of people are hoping that, you're playing as Miles and you have to fight symbiote Peter, like in a boss fight.
Oh, I would love to see that.
Especially
That'd
with
be
That'd be
terrifying.
pretty cool.
especially with like Miles's electroshock powers.
Yeah, and he gets upgrades.
That should actually be a pretty cool boss fight because it shows Peter, like, anytime he, like, Venom takes over, he's just kind of losing more and more of his sanity.
Yeah. And also I want to know what happened to Harry. So it's like I want to see what they do with him
Yeah, because
and why he's in the tube.
that would be
I
interesting.
think they said he was dying of like a cancer or something like that. As far as why Harry was in the tube, so they just put him in stasis so he wouldn't die. I think pretty sure they said that.
But if you look in his little tube thing, he's like his body is like symbiote ooze string stuff is attached to
Yeah.
him. So I wonder
Unless,
Yeah, go back to that
unless
failed
maybe he got
experiment.
grabbed by it, and then that's why he didn't really have anything.
if he didn't know
I don't know.
he didn't know what it was, and his
But then
dad
why
like
was his dad put him in a tube?
probably did like find a way to get that stuff off of him.
Yeah, oh maybe.
Then Peter just attracted it, and then
It
like,
pr-
screw
it
Harry, I'm going for you.
Well,
Yeah.
again, we'll see.
So I want to see I want to
That's
see
going
where
to
that
be a
goes.
really interesting thing. Is also, when does Peter get the symbiote attached to him? Does it at the beginning of the game? I mean, it's not going to be towards the ending of the game because I feel like it's probably
Yeah.
like second or third mission. I feel like there's gonna be a
Oh,
mission
yeah.
involved with this, how he gets this symbiote, like kind of like in the Spider-Man 3 movie. We don't talk about that. like how the symbiote got attracted to Peter and it just crawled on it, which would be a nice kind of little homage of like he's just sleep. It crawls on him, and the next thing you know, he wakes up and he's like looking in front of like a big building with a mirror scene. He's all that'd be a nice little homage if you know.
Mhm.
Brandon, you real quick, what would you like to see in this game?
That's kind of a hard one. I don't have anything as quite as cool as what Sam said. So until the game comes out, I won't really know until I see, and then like, oh, it'd be great to have this or that. Um, I think it's a small thing, but I think I'd like to see Bruce Campbell make a cameo in it. I think it'd be cool.
I mean, he did make a cameo in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 the Amazing Spider-Man video game, which was, it's in a way a direct sequel to the first Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Oh, did he in the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's an audio cameo. It's during like a side mission. But yes, he
Okay.
did. He did have an audio cameo.
I did not know that. I had played that once. It was quite a while ago. I remember Stan Lee being at the very end of that, and then I know he narrated like Spider-Man 2 video game.
Oh
Which
yeah,
that
he was
fun.
also the tutorial narrator in the first Spider-Man game based off the first movie.
Yeah, that was great
Release
listening to him.
for October, and it's also perfect because this comes out around the time of Halloween, October 20th, 2023.
Get your spider suits.
But he only has to he has to do a cameo as the Pizza Papa.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
And one thing I would like to see, and it's something from like it's something you got to do in the first game, and I think in the sequel, is the interactions with the citizens, how they want to take pictures with you, like
Oh yeah. High five.
what's the interaction going to be like if you're in the symbiote suit, and someone wants to
Oh.
take a picture with you?
Run
Good
away.
question.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Or-
imagine they'd run away.
Fear me.
But you know what? That could be another thing though too. Initially nobody cares because it's just a black suit Spider-Man, but once word gets out that he's eating people or beating the hell out of him or something like that, fear might come into play or something like that. So maybe that's even going to be a mechanic, like you got to hide how aggressive you're being, or just go full on, evil, like the fruit
Oh,
to the devil.
You can't
you
hide
know.
that. Jay Jonah is going to have
There
picture
you
of
go.
like when you're doing the tentacle grab, and like, look,
Mhm.
Spider-Man's eating people.
Oh yeah,
zapping pigeons.
like how in that also be a nice mechanic to bring back. So you know how like Miles Morales too, like Genki helped set Miles up with like his own personal like web page, and people can take pictures and
Well,
make posts. Like that'd be kind of cool if they brought that mechanic back for Miles Morales, where like people can take pictures and like put hashtags and comments like "Why is Spider-Man?"
yeah, he's eating people. Run
Yeah.
away. I mean, yeah. Who knows? I mean, that might be part of it.
Again,
That'd be cool.
this game will come out in October. And again, I'm gonna be watching game because I don't own PS5. Those things are still fucking expensive. So I'll most likely do what I did with the first Spider-Man game from 2018. Watch the gameplay for it and most likely buy it. I'm also kind of curious if there's gonna be any DLC, since this is technically a main Spider-Man game and not like Miles Morales, how again, as Brian states.
I'd
and
assume so.
Yeah,
I would assume so, Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, given that the Black Cat stuff and the Mafia and all that stuff in the first one, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't.
And that was
Unstable.
technically extended story DLC. So imagine if they're gonna still go with extended story DLC or do like mid game DLC.
Hmm. I don't know. That's a good question, because the end of the game stuff, after you beat it and extending, the story as it ended, was a genius way to go, because it extended your gameplay.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You did all this stuff. Technically, the game's over, but
Like
what are the
here.
after effects of what you did? Here's
And
Hammerhead.
even I mean
Here's
look
the
at
saber.
the DLC. They even had like mini missions they brought back. They had Screwball
Uh-huh.
come back.
Yeah.
They had their own they had their own crime stuff where you can stop
Mm-hmm.
the enemies and
Yeah.
or like how if you said, oh, stick 5 enemies to the wall or fling an enemy this many times, then you get like that little bonus experience.
But it
with
was
the
a great integration of after the main story. It wasn't like, oh, if you had done this, or, ignore that you did that. No, it's like, this is what happened after the events of the main
That would
game.
be a good way for them if they don't cram too many enemies in the main game. If they do have a DLC, maybe they can bring
Yeah,
more
that
enemies
at it or
in.
something to bring 'em
still
in,
raises
yeah.
the question. Like we knew who the main enemies were in the first game, Doc
Yeah.
Ock and Martin Lee, with the Sinister Six, but those were like the other bad guys from the Sinister Six, Electro, Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture. Those were more so like side mission enemies. They weren't like main baddies. They were just things you had to
Yeah.
fight. So it's really hard to tell. I imagine Craven the Hunter, because the way he was like shown off in the trailer, like
That
he
was
has
probably the main one.
he has to be a main baddie, because that'd be pretty fucked up to say, oh yeah, he's just
Yeah, focus the first 5 minutes
the
of the
amount
trailer on
that
a
he
guy that
has
you
in
only
his
fight
army.
once or some
Yeah.
bullshit like that. That would suck.
I mean, yeah. Again, I kind of want to ask this. Back to you, Brian. Thoughts on Craven the Hunter be potentially the main baddie in this one?
Given that cat has never really gotten a fair shake in any medium other than the comics, and even then he's kind of bounced back and forth, a serious take on it as it looks like they're doing, I'm fine with it. In the game, maybe not in any other medium, but in this one,
Has he
just
been
that
in any
intro.
other? Well, he was in the Lego Marvel 2 video game.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he's never really gotten a fair shake across the board. He's always been kind of pushed to the side, but to bring him to the forefront in a good way, because he's an interesting character.
Not the Sony way and that new Craven the Hunter.
But it looks like this one might be a serious attempt, and given, like I said, the focus and the like intro to him in the trailer, I'm okay with it. I think it'll be a good way to go, because it might humanize Peter some and elevate others. I mean, there's some interesting story elements there that, hey, even though you're super, this guy's the killer of killers, so to say. Yeah, I think it'd be an interesting
He'd
way
be
to
the
go.
king.
I imagine there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of interactions with Craven in this game, especially since he's wanting to hunt not only the characters we saw, but as we all know, his main goal is to capture Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why does he want to
Yep.
capture Spider-Man?
Because to him,
Well,
he's
it's-
the ultimate prey.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That he's a hunter. That's the ultimate. That's what I'm talking about. It's gonna be one of those things where Peter realizes, oh crap, as strong as I am and what I've gone through, there's always somebody better. And hell, maybe that'll be a reason why he gets the Venom suit, is to go fight him. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
that would be an interesting twist.
There's all speculation, but I mean anything's possible, and I'm fine with any of it. But like I said, it looks like Craven is going to be a serious attempt, and I'm excited to see how they handle it.
I hope he just doesn't get pushed to the side.
Yeah, it's for yeah. But why devote like the first 5 minutes of the trailer, like I said, to somebody
And
that
then
you're just
he
gonna
was
be
like,
like,
in like the game
Bye.
in the gameplay trailer, he seemed to be a serious thing. Like it
Oh,
seems like
yeah.
he was hunting. From what I saw, he was hunting Kurt Connors, aka Lizard, and it looks like Peter and Miles are trying to save Dr. Connors from being put on Craven's mounted on Craven's wall.
Yeah, but his intro in the jungle when he was being hunted by that guy and says, I've been tracking you for hours and you didn't even know and you're not worthy, this and that. He's just realizing he's the apex predator, and then choking that guy out. Like I said, it looked like they're taking it seriously. I'm excited to see how he's handled, unless they just bring him in and then he walks off. I
Basically,
don't know.
like what they did with Silver Sable in the first game.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
But then she got her-
oh yeah, then she came back in the DLC. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I was gonna say.
I'm here for like a few more times, but then I'm like,
And
you'll
then,
never
yeah.
see me again.
Yeah. Bye.
It just like
See
it just
ya.
and just
Yeah.
basically just fade away like when Yoda dies in Star Wars.
That is a legitimate concern, but I'm genuinely curious to see how he's handled. I'm okay with it as of right now from what I've seen.
And I know we got to wrap it up here soon because I know Sam has her concert
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Gotta
Yeah.
go to a concert.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, we'll wrap it up here. Got 50 more minutes. Sam,
Yeah.
do you feel like Craven's going to be the main baddie in this game, aside from what it looks like, maybe Peter's symbiote suit as well?
I hope so, because I don't know a ton about the character because I've never really read his comics, but I've seen him in like the animated Spider-Man show, and I really liked him because it's like, oh, this is a different character than we've seen. So I want him to be more in the game so I can know a little bit more about him. And he just looks kind of cool,
His
He's wearing his fur.
and his like like different animal tooth necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
his
like a
muscles.
human predator.
Like I know this game is rated T, but like still with the symbiote suit, I'm kind of wondering how far or
It
like
goes.
what kind of line are they going to cross with this, especially knowing given the type of things Peter can do as symbiote, especially in that one Spider-Man game where you could choose between good or evil, whether you want to be as Peter or the symbiote suit Peter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I hope that he's the main one because it would be interesting for Peter to fight him with the suit.
Yeah. Brandon, same question. What are your thoughts of Craven being the potential main baddie in this upcoming game?
I feel like it might be similar to the first one in that there's, the two main ones, like you said, Martin Lee and Dr. Octavius. So I feel like Craven for sure would probably be one of them. Because, I mean, he's hunting Connors and Peter obviously cares about him. So I feel like that would be one. I'm sure he's going to hunt Peter as well. But I feel like it might be a toss-up between either Venom or Norman. Norman does seem like a bad guy, even though you didn't really see what he did. Just
I mean, he was
kind
still
of
a,
based
he
off
was
of
still,
how
he was still a douche in the first one.
yeah, that's what I mean. You don't see all the stuff he does, but given how Octavius turned out because of the bullying and whatever else he's got going on the
And
sidelines,
him being technically responsible for Martin Lee becoming Mr. Negative.
that too. So Norman could do something, or Venom could be the other one. And I'm thinking Venom maybe because what's to stop Venom after going after Mary Jane or somebody like that. And I'm thinking just because Peter's already lost, his Aunt May, so maybe there'd be that line of losing more because I assume Venom would know everything he knows, so he could go after Miles or whoever and wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
See,
That
that,
would be
that
interesting.
adds an interesting aspect to Craven hunting them because he's hunting an unknown that knows its own stuff and Peter. So you've got this weird mix. Well, obviously, even more so the ultimate prey. And how does Craven handle that if he is in fact the main bad guy? That's cool
How
that you're
would
talking about that,
Craven
Brandon.
That's an interesting.
Because
That would
nobody's
be
ever seen it before.
question.
Assumedly, it's a brand new thing. You know, like it was in the comics. It came out, and we don't know what the fuck it was. So
Yeah.
yeah, going down that road, Brandon, that would be interesting to see because Craven's thinking, "Oh, I'm just chasing a human spider," and like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?" You know,
Yeah, and then the
this
suit
alien
comes
coming
off
out,
him and starts
you know?
eating them. Yeah.
Yeah, it changes things.
Yeah, what are you?
Yeah,
Give me a minute.
I
I'm
didn't
just
even consider what he'd think of, like hunting Spider-Man. But then it's like, what is this thing?
well, assumedly, if they go into it at all in the game, but you know, even from the comics and stuff, he's literally hunted everything by hand. Typically, you know, he's in there, you know, hands on.
His bare hands.
Every yes, fought bears with his bare hands. You know, every dangerous animal on the planet, and even gone after supers and stuff like that. So to have him go up against what he feels is going to be like the ultimate
Right.
prey already, and then you give it an X
And
factor with this damn
here's
suit, the symbiote. That'd
here's
be interesting.
Craven's other look in the I think it's the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Here's Craven's other video game adaptation look.
Oh yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
right.
that's
From the
not
Amazing
bad. Yeah,
Spider-
it
from the
wasn't
Amazing
terrible.
Spider-Man 2.
They
So
tried
like
to,
Wait,
I
does that
mean-
mean Peter would be like more of a predator towards
but
Craven?
yeah, I mean just
He's
look
got the Venom suit.
well, see, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is it going to be
Oh,
the prey, the predator becomes the prey? In which direction? At what point? Is that why Peter
Man,
gets the
look at
suit because
that.
he got his ass whooped by Craven
look
and
at
barely escaped?
look at that menacing face when he's choking the guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
That model
Rawr,
was
fear
fantastic.
me.
Yeah.
So last but not least before we end this, Brian, overall thoughts on this upcoming game?
Can't come fast enough. Hurry the hell up.
I
You
Same.
know, I've already got enough life sucker games right now, but I'll stop
mean,
them.
it's worth paying
play
this.
this.
It's worth paying the $70.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
I
Mhm.
mean, Insomniac. I'm not really familiar with Insomniac games. I know they're also right now in the midst of working on that semi-open world Wolverine game that should be coming out anytime soon.
Go back and play Sunset Overdrive, dude.
Yeah.
Get an idea where they started.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. And
that's
Yuri,
where I
that's
fell in love
right.
with
That's
them.
right. Yuri Lowenthal voiced the main character.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
main.
Go
the
back
male-
and play
the
that and
male
get an
voice.
idea where these guys
Oh,
came from.
God,
Quality has been where they started.
I mean, it sucks that speaking of for being the very first one of the first few games to come up for the Xbox One and it being an Xbox exclusive, that game should have gotten more traction. I mean,
I agree.
from playing it, it was the issue was it was very repetitive was its issue.
Still a lot of fun, and the humor alone made it worth going through.
And they leave that ending to make look like a sequel, but it didn't get enough popularity. It was only an Xbox exclusive.
But still, super excited.
But yeah, I forgot
These
about
guys
it.
have hit it out of the park almost pretty much every time, and as
Plus,
good
they're
as the
not.
other one
Plus,
was.
they're
That's it.
not like most companies who Ubisoft, Activision.
Nope,
They release the game every fucking year.
yeah.
Sam, same question. Overall thoughts for the Spider-Man 2 game that's coming out soon in October.
Oh,
October
I can't wait
20th.
for it. It needs to come faster, yo.
It looks really. I
It
mean,
needs to be here right meow.
the trailer,
I don't wanna wait till October.
the trailer and the gameplay trailer are one thing, but like playing yourself or seeing the full-on gameplay is two completely different, or
Oh yeah.
technically three. Someone like me who can't afford a PS5, I can still watch the gameplay, and I can't wait to see what people do. I mean, give it like another year or two before people start making mods for that game. Where it's like, look at me, I'm playing Kraven the Hunter, and I'm swinging in New York.
I have a
Uh,
feeling that's probably going to be one game that I will accidentally like go all the way through without
Yeah.
like taking a break. Because I did that with the
Yeah.
first one, and then I had to play it again because it's like I
Ugh.
missed all these things because it's like it got so involved, and then it
Go back to what
yeah.
I was talking about. That
wraps you
story
in,
being
yeah.
compelling. That's the main thing. It just
Yeah.
that's
I felt
They're
that
hoping.
through the trailer. Like,
yeah.
like
Oh,
no, don't
it's
stop.
good. It's gonna be interesting. Brandon, same question. Overall thoughts on the upcoming Spider-Man game? I know it's of months still. See, we're in July. No, June. July, August, September. We're 4 months away.
Not 4 months too long.
I mean, there are some people who almost like like I said, there are some content creators who are probably gonna get like a week early so they can play it on YouTube, give it a review, and then start posting videos of it. Because you know for a fact that there are those who get the game early, those like worked in the game, voiced in
Yeah,
the
and like
game.
game ranks and stuff, get review copies early and stuff. I think I'm gonna avoid spoilers though.
Oh,
Oh no,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch that until after I get it.
I'm gonna wait till one of my favorite YouTubers posts like gameplay part 1.
Yeah.
I don't want to know till I play the game.
It's but yeah. I imagine Brian, you're looking forward to it coming out soon. I mean, Brandon.
What, you mean Brandon? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. That's one of those. I agree that I would drop whatever else I'm currently playing and
Shut up and take
and
my
do
money.
exactly. Yeah. No. If they maintain. Like I said with the trailer, I really enjoyed the trailer, and I did feel that through kind of like how I did with the first one. I want that to keep going because I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing just in that 13-minute trailer.
I mean,
If they keep that feel for the rest of the game, then yeah, I'm sold right there.
Oh,
I
it's gonna be
mean,
good.
just as long as they, since this is technically the third game, hopefully they don't have that 3-game curse where,
If the trailer is any indication between the gameplay and the looks, I mean, not that I'm going to judge a game based on looks because I've been fooled before, but given
Effect
what they've
Andromeda.
already done,
Except that
What they-
I
Oh.
have another one.
We don't
But I'm
talk
just
about
saying-
that.
given what they've already done and what they're capable of doing, there is no reason to think that if there's some miraculous reason that they downgraded to dumb it up, I think it'll still be a good game. You know what I mean? I can't see this going wrong in any capacity.
No,
Yeah, so I just can't wait.
I don't think. We'll see.
I mean, it's possible. I mean,
Yeah,
in
you
this
can wear
universe,
your
there are nothing but
spider suit while you
possibilities.
play it.
Well, that's true. I can. I just can't
mean-
wear my hood, but I can. I will. You have to though, too, Sammy.
Oh, I have.
Oh, and I guarantee that.
I wore
Yeah.
my PS4 Spider-Man suit when I was playing the game.
Good. As well, you should.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
Sunset-
no
oh, yeah,
discernible-
okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Sunset Overdrive. Oh, they did
Yeah.
the Ratchet and Clank series. I forgot that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just getting that given
Yeah.
quality and the type of games they've done, I cannot see them going backwards in any capacity.
Marvel's
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, 2023. Marvel's Wolverine still to be announced.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay.
Hey,
I'll
take
wait.
as much time as they need for whatever their stuff
That,
is.
and that's gonna be
honestly.
one of that's gonna be another rated M game by Insomniac. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
my overall thoughts. I'm looking forward to the game. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm really looking forward to finding more about how Peter does get the symbiote suit because I do like your guys' theories. It's probably the only one of many few times where I will like agree with the theory. So we'll see if it has anything to tie in with the ending of the first game with Harry being in that green tank with the symbiote ooze.
The ooze.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
The turtle ooze. He's gonna turn
Yeah.
into a turtle. That's what it is. He's
Yeah.
gonna come out as a turtle.
But yeah, that'd be
I mean,
interesting to
crossover
see.
with
That'd be
with
interesting to see.
Spider-Man before.
That'd be interesting to
Batman.
see if Harry is will turn into Venom.
It'd be different.
Or
I don't know
yeah.
if he's ever been Venom in any of the comics
He
or not.
has.
I know he's
He
Hobgoblin.
has.
He was, and in one of the I think it was the Ultimate Spider-Man animated TV shows or the animated Spider-Man TV show, Harry does become Venom in one of the
Mhm.
animated shows.
Okay.
one way or the other,
infected.
can't wait to find out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. It'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what happens with
Awesome.
MJ.
I'm looking forward to it with the game coming out in 2023. Also, I want to thank you guys for coming on. This is like the first time, as I mentioned before, for those who are also watching, what are your thoughts or stuff? Like I said, we talk about stuff that has come out, this year or stuff that is coming out this year or, the years forward. Anyway, once again, oh yeah, real quick. As I always forget. Tired.
Oh,
Brian,
bones.
would you like to drop those links below so people know where to find you?
Oh, I don't even have my link tree set up, but you can find me on at Nightingale Studios on Facebook or at Luna Stardust on Instagram. I've still got a big backlog of work in progress pictures of certain things. I usually don't do it like daily, but I've got a bunch when it's all done. I have that weird. There's something wrong with my brain. I don't like things to go out until they're perfect. But that's yeah. And then if anybody really needs to get a hold of me, you can't find it that way, go through Wayne. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Sam, same question. Drop those links so people know where to find you to keep up on your
Yes.
cosplay progresses and stuff.
So my Facebook is Grayson Cosplay Studios, and then my Instagram is Saving Grayson, and I've been posting a lot more because I've done a lot of costumes and events, so you can find me there.
Nice. And Brandon, where can people find you?
Pretty much Facebook under my name. I don't really have anything fancy. At some point I might
Yeah, you can find me
Have
under
a-
me.
Yeah, I'm
have
just
a
a
thing on
guy.
Etsy for like selling models, but I have to figure some stuff out on that. So otherwise, that's me.
It's the me. Hey, do you all know where to
Yeah.
find me? Link tree in the description below. Also, I forgot to mention last week. Well, actually, no, I already have mentioned it. Anyway, you know where to find me. Link tree in the description below. Until next time, I'm Winnie Unknown. As always, thank you for listening. And as always, don't forget to fucking like and subscribe. Whatever.
Yeah. It's all good, man.